Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to Falling in Love with Hope K. Today, this week, I'm going to be talking about contentment. So, my poem for this week is called Hold Still. It's short but sweet. And it's a different take on all the hate that I feel like people get about their posts on social media. So we hear a lot of social media is just a highlight reel. Social media is not real. Nobody's that happy in person. Nobody goes on that many vacations that in real life. This is not, this is not what their real life looks like. And I've always had the stance of, what if their real life looks better than what we see? I feel like people usually go to the default of, oh, that's not real life, that's not real life, that's not real life, when they want to make it seem as though someone's life isn't as good as what we're seeing. But what if the life that they have is better than what we see? What if they're not going on as many trips as we see on social media? What if they're going on more? And being a fitness girly, there are a lot of these fitness pages where people will intentionally distort their body in certain ways to prove that they have a real body. So they'll take a picture sitting down with their shirt up. Look, I have rolls when I sit down too. Look, after I eat, I'm bloated too. Look, I have back fat too. Look, my booty is not. I think we all need to come to terms with that people's bodies look different throughout the day and at different angles. And that's okay. But what we don't want to do is go on with this whole narrative that if you see somebody's pictures that looks like this, their body doesn't actually look like that. They did something to stage that, and they used Facetune, and they did this, and they did that. Because what if they didn't? And I say this because a lot of our contentment is based on other people's discomfort, other people's imperfections, other people's flaws. So it's a false contentment. It's something that we're telling ourselves so we feel better about our insecurities. And so that we feel better about the things that we don't have yet in our life. Instead of realizing, you know what, their life could actually be that great. Their body could actually be that great. Their marriage could be that great. Their kids could be that great. They may never eat takeout. All of their food is home cooked and it's organic and it's vegan, and they never have to worry about getting enough protein. And that's okay if my life doesn't look like that. Not trying to minimize other people's accomplishments or other people's lives. I follow a model. I changed over my social media a couple years ago with following more women that I look up to, or more influencers who look like me. Because what I was finding is I was slipping into that, oh, she don't look that good. Oh, she not really like this. Oh, she probably actually did this to her body and this to her body. And well, she looks like that because she has the money to do this. Or that's just how she look, and that's okay. And it's also okay if you have some insecurities that can be triggered by other people's uh wins. And that's something that you just have to know about yourself. But anyway, when I wanted to be in a healthier mindset as far as fitness, instead of looking at women with these big old booties, with these curvaceous bodies, and talking about fitness goals, which was delusional because there's no world in which I'm going to look like that. But I started following all these women whose bodies looked like mine. I followed women whose skin complexion looked like mine, whose hair looks like mine. So when I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'm getting images affirming me and not trying to pick and find fault in the people that I was following to satisfy my insecurities. But this woman is a model, and she posted how many flights that she had been on throughout the year. And I think she had been on like 90 some flights. She's been to probably 10 or 11 countries, but she's an international model. She travels internationally. And it made me think about this whole narrative of when we see people posting pictures in other places, there's this idea, oh, y'all posting those Miami pictures from 2 years ago. Y'all posting those Cancun pictures. The only place y'all know how to go to is Cancun. Like, let them enjoy their life. Let them be content. And instead of worrying about what they have going on, applaud them This week, I struggled with contentment. I knew I was going to talk about contentment last week. I was reading Philippians all week, and I was struggling bad with contentment. And nothing is even going on bad in life. So it's just like I just had this heaviness all week, and this stress and this frustration just thinking about the things that haven't fallen into place yet. The places that I'm not at yet. The promises that have yet to come to pass. And it just made me think even more about the importance of contentment and proactively pursuing contentment. So in my first video, I talked about falling in love, and part of being content is falling in love with the life you have now. Fall in love with the body you have now. Fall in love with the job you have now. Fall in love with the kids, the spouse, the partner that you have now. Because if you're not content and if you can't intentionally fall in love with what you already have, you're always going to be chasing. The women who are always getting surgeries and changing things about themselves, they have yet to fall in love with what they have now. So they feel like they're constantly having to go change something. And they say when you start getting cosmetic procedures, you just keep finding stuff wrong with yourself. Okay, maybe I didn't like my eyebrows, got my eyebrows microshaded. Now my eyebrows make my lashes stand out, so now I'm getting lash extensions all the time. Now I'm like, okay, my eyes are perfect. My nose is kind of crooked. I have a bump in my nose. I actually do have a bump in my nose. And then you know, now you're getting fillers in your nose. Oh, okay, I got fillers to balance out my nose. I love that my nose is balanced out. Now my cheeks don't match. My cheeks puffy. I got splotchiness and I got texture. So now I'm gonna get filler in my cheeks too. Oh, now I notice my crow's feet. Now I'm getting Botox. Oh, my lips look cool, but everything else is nice and full and smooth and youthful. Now I feel like I need to blow my lips up. And before you know it, you have someone who you don't recognize. And when you're not content, before you know it, your life can look like something you don't recognize. You're not content with your partner, so you go after chasing this girl or this guy. Now you flirt and y'all texting, or y'all start flirting on social media. Now y'all texting. Now y'all just so happen to run into each other in person. Now y'all meeting up just as friends. Now you cheating on your partner because you didn't have that contentment. And when that seed was planted, you took a little, 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 until you became something that you didn't recognize. So the goal is to be content. Be content, be content. And we're going to talk about a verse in Philippians 4. And when I was studying Philippians, because people use this verse for contentment all the time, and in context, it's really someone asking Paul, oh, do you need this? Do you need something? How can we help you? How can we be of service to you? And Paul is basically saying, actually, I don't need anything. And he's so grateful for all the help and everything that he's already been given, that he's not just saying it so he can look fake humble. He's not saying it because he doesn't know how to ask for help. He's saying it because he's grateful and gracious for what he has, and he has found contentment in where he is. So when he says, oh no, I don't need anything, he truly doesn't need anything because he has realized, I have all that I need. So contentment is loving where God has you. Falling in love with Hope K. Where does God have you? Where does God have me? And where are you being ungrateful and where you are? And how is that ungratefulness contributing to the stress in your life, the stress in your heart, any jealousy, any envy, any dissatisfaction? And contentment is not a lack of motivation. Contentment isn't settling. Contentment is, I have this goal. I'm only this age. Obviously, more things are going to come. That's just life. But I am at peace with what I have and where I am as I continue to work towards where I'm going. And that's a part of fully embracing life and fully embracing the journey. Y'all, I know y'all have seen those memes and things all over social media. And it's like what you have now, or what you're complaining about now, is what you once prayed for. And we're so busy trying to get to the next thing that we don't even take time to enjoy where we are and what we have. You single, you mad about being single. You get a boyfriend, you complain about your boyfriend. You get a fiance, you complain about your fiance. You get your husband, you complain about your husband. You all don't have no kids yet. You stress because you don't have no kids. Then you had kids, then you stress because you got kids. Then you can't wait till your kids get grown. Then your kids grown and then move at the house and you're an empty nester. Now you're complaining that you don't have no grandkids. At what point are you fully embracing the journey and enjoying where you are, enjoying where life is, enjoying those relationships instead of taking them for granted? Because a lot of people go to their deathbed and they realize, oh gosh, I spent 60 years taking everything for granted. So don't take anything that you have for granted right now. Fully embrace you and what you have. My last poem was about some insecurities. And I'm a human being. Everybody has insecurities. If your insecurities don't have anything to do with appearance, maybe it's money, maybe it's talent, maybe it's education. Everybody is insecure about something. And I'm not ashamed of having insecurities. Every single day, I'm not walking around, oh, I'm so this, oh, I'm so that. But everybody get those whispers every now and again where it's like, dang, this ain't where I thought I was going to be. So, when we're thinking about fully embracing our life, you get to make the decision that my life is good. I say my life is good, and so it is. And I remember when I sang in the choir at church, we sang this song, and they just are saying, today will be the best day of my life. The best day of my life, the best day of my life. I don't even know any of the words. Today will be the best day of my life. So I remember one day I woke up and I'm just trying to be intentionally positive about life. And I posted on my story, today is going to be the best day of my life. Everybody's like, why's it going to be the best day of your life? Why's it going to be the best? Because I said it was. And it was. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. You can wake up and decide, this is going to be the best day. This is going to be the best day, regardless of what happens, regardless of what I don't have, regardless of what's thrown my way. I'm intentionally deciding to embrace this day as the best day of my life. And we have to also, just to back up, when we're comparing our best day to somebody else's best day, we are self-soothing with the idea that someone else's life isn't as good as it seems. We're using someone else's possible or potential pain or downfalls to make us feel better about our life. When we can just decide, my life is good, I say my life is good, and so it is. Not, I say my life is good if this person's life is bad. I say my husband is fine if I don't run into somebody else with a finer husband. I say my wife is fine if I don't see somebody else with a finer wife. I say I love my job if I don't find out what he's doing and how much money he's making. I'm deciding to be content in what I have and the day and the opportunities and the choices that I've been given, even if I'm working towards something better. And we also want to remember that even in challenges, our life is better than what it seems. When you really take time to sit down and walk in gratitude, you start to notice more. When you're walking in discontentment, you notice more of the bad things. Oh, it's a hole in my sock. Oh, my car got a scratch. Their car don't got a scratch. Oh, I was late to work today. Oh, they take too much money out of my check. Which, that's true, but you know. Oh, my boss annoying. Oh, my kids get on my nerves. Oh, they so bad. Oh, they got an F. Oh, they ain't read their book. Oh, I drove her over a pothole. Oh, I'm so gloomy. If you really sit down and think about the good things happening in your life, you will realize that things aren't as bad as they seem. Your car got a scratch on it, but you got a car. It's a hoopty, but it's a car. The bus ain't bad, but the bus is not ideal, and you're not on the bus. You're not walking. You're not spending a bunch of money trying to Uber all over the place. You have something that you should be grateful for. I'm not even going to say you have something that other people don't have, because then you compare yourself. And And you don't want your joy to be, oh, I got it better than somebody else. Because then when you see somebody who has it better than you, then you diminish what you have. I have something good, period. A lot of the times we're complaining about things we can change. You want to go on more vacations so you can have more pictures and memories in different places? How about you be a better steward over your money so you can afford to do this? You paying on somebody else and you convincing yourself that they living life on a credit card. They living this day life can't be that great, or they living life in terrible debt don't nobody know about. How about you worry about your credit score? How about you worry about your debt? How about you worry about paying down some things so that you can have the experiences that you want instead of projecting on another person? Because that's not fair. We have to realize that there's someone somewhere who sees our life as luxury. Luxury is subjective. You get to decide what's luxurious. Everybody can decide what they say their life is, their beauty is, their whatever. And that don't make them delusional. It just means that they have decided something about them. They have decided to be content and enjoy what they have. And that's okay. We don't get to come in and dictate who can be content and who can be happy. You think you cute? Yes. You think you all that? Yes. And that's okay. Why are you upset that somebody think they're cute? And a lot of times when you do get that, oh, you think you're cute, you think you all that, the person who is being accused of thinking they're cute or all that is not doing anything but loving themselves. They're not doing anything but being content. And someone else who hasn't arrived at that point feels threatened. Somebody content with what they have. You don't want more than that? Actually, no. I'm cool with this. I may have some long-term goals, but right now, this is what I'm choosing. This is what I want. And we're not talking about destructive behaviors or unhealthy behaviors or things of that nature. So, I know how you girls like to tussle. So I have to make disclaimers. All right. So that's really all that I wanted to chitty chat on. But I do also, because I'm a Christian girl, I do want y'all to read Philippians in your own time. It's only 4 or 5 chapters. Let me double check. So I literally just read it this week. So remember, even in I have the Women's Study Bible, and in the Bible, the portion where this verse comes from is abbreviated or highlighted as thanks for their gifts. So when you think about contentment, think about thanking God for his gifts. Contentment means that I am intentionally thanking God for his gifts. It's gratefulness, it's gratitude, it's enjoyment, it's appreciation. Philippians chapter 4 verse 12. I rejoice, we start at verse 10, but the highlighted verse is 12. Philippians 4:10 through 12. I rejoice greatly in the Lord that at least you renewed your concern for me. Somebody cared about me, and I'm grateful for that. Indeed, you were concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. I am not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. So y'all was really thinking about me, and y'all cared about me, but y'all may not have necessarily been able to show it to me in that moment. And I'm not bringing that up because I'm fishing or looking, oh, y'all cared about me so much, y'all ain't do nothing. No, I'm not saying that because I'm in need. I have learned to be content in whatever circumstances. 12. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I've had a whole bunch of stuff before, and I've also had a little bit of stuff. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living or plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. He wasn't mad at nobody. He wasn't hating on nobody. He wasn't jumping around screaming because he knew what it was like to be in need, and he knew what it was like to have plenty. And he learned the secret of being content. Whether he had all that he needed or he didn't have what he needed. And then verse 13, I can do all this through him who gives me strength. So, his gratitude and graciousness is found in the Lord. Knowing that at the end of the day, things are gonna work out. Things are gonna work for his good and for his glory. And Paul went through a lot of things that he chose to go through. I'm studying the book of Acts, and I can't remember what chapter I was in, but Paul had literally just got beat up. He was going through it, and everybody's like, Paul, get out of here, man. You need to go somewhere. Like, get out of here. These people gonna kill you. And Paul kept going on his journey. He kept doing what he knew the Lord was calling him to do. So whatever promises, whatever goals you have, don't let struggle, don't let a bad situation knock you out of what you're supposed to be doing. Don't resort to, well, I done got beat up by life, so now my life is sitting on social media and being mad at everybody for what they have. Maybe I got a bad lot in life, or backed up start than other people. That don't mean I'm gonna sit up and look, oh well, you only got this because of this, and you only got this because of that. You know what it's like to have nothing. You know what it's like to be in need. And as you move towards plenty, have gratitude for where you came from. As you move towards where you want to go. Because in an instant, you can have plenty. You don't want to shun where you came from. Because at the end of the day, we never know when we can go back to that place. We never know what might happen in life. And the place that we shunned is the place we found ourselves in yet again. And we know that we can do all things through Christ who strengthens us. God is going to work it out. That doesn't mean that, he's a genie in a bottle. They said that in the devotional. But it does mean no matter what my start is, no matter what I have in my hands right now, I can do something with what I have right now. So if you're looking at that person who's always vacationing and you wish you could vacation more, go somewhere small. You ain't been everywhere. Your first vacation don't have to be across the world. You haven't even been across the country yet. You haven't even been across the state. Start small. Build up and find gratitude in what you can do and where you can go. And don't spend your time being angry at other people. Find gratitude in those people who are doing things for you, even if the only thing they're doing is thinking of you. Don't shun that. Because you don't know what it feels like for someone not to think of you until people get sick of your complaining and your discontentment, then they don't think about you at all. So be grateful for where you are. Be grateful for what you have. And I'm going to reread those verses. So it's Philippians 4, verses 10 through 13. Thanks for their gifts. I rejoiced greatly in the Lord that at last you renewed your concern for me. Indeed, you were concerned, but you had no opportunity to show it. I'm not saying this because I am in need, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength. I hope y'all have a great week. I hope that y'all find something to love about yourself and to love about your life. And thanks for tuning in with Falling in Love.